Hello, my name's Michael Conneely and I'm telling you about our Sacred West of Ireland tours. This is an add-on to my December Astrology and Healing newsletter, and I am filming it for the 1st of December, and so we've just finished our first year of running the tours, and what a wonderful, wonderful, happy, mind-expanding inspiration they've been. In fact, we thought originally we'd sort of end the tours at the end of October, but in fact we've never been so busy as we were in November, with say 3 tours a week and parties and individuals coming from United States, France, Ireland, Slovakia, England, Germany, Portugal. And they've been wonderful, and so we've just updated the tours page on our Druid Forest School website, all ready for you to book in for 2020. And basically the principle is that we go to an ancient sacred site in the northwest of Ireland in the rough proximity of Sligo. Now, if the tour isn't bigger than 3 people, I normally collect you and drive you to the site. And if it's bigger, well, your car follows mine. I can pick you up from like a hotel in Sligo or other places in this area. Or we could meet up at a rendezvous site near the sacred site, a rendezvous place. So Castle Baldwin is a very good rendezvous place for a number of the sacred sites. It's central to a number. Okay, so that's a bit of the logistics, and you simply go to the tours page and enroll using the buttons at the bottom of the page. First of all, phoning Maggie or emailing Maggie, my wife Maggie Pashley, just to check if the days you want are available. We've expanded the number of days in the week that we offer these tours. So what's so special about these tours? Well, in principle, they are so special because all these places are places of utterly exalted beauty. It's a beautiful coastline. It has very high earth energies and rock energies. And so for most of the tours, what we do is go to the sacred site, and we may well work with the rock energies. We may well do geomantic work, working out if the megalithic tomb builders, for example, chose the site because the site amounts to a portal and has very high quartz-rich rock energies, which they indeed enhanced when they built their tombs there, for example. But above all, indeed, what we do is vision work to meet the gods and goddesses of the Tuatha De Danann, the gods and goddesses of the ancient Irish. So what I'll do for the purpose of this video is go through the list of tours, there are 9 of them now, and just tell you a bit about each. So the first tour is actually the battlefield of Moitura. That's the mountain plateau above Loch Arrow, where the Tuatha De Danann met the dark and twisted Fomorians led by Balor of the Evil Eye in battle. Incidentally, when I say mountain top, it's an Irish mountain. It might be a bit smaller than a Swiss mountain, and it's certainly possible to walk up them, and all our tours are on public pathways. Okay, so basically on the way we stop off at what's called the bed of the couple. So the manuscript reports that on the eve of the battle, the Dagda, the good god, met the Morrigan, the war goddess of the ancient Irish, and she was naked and astride the river Unshin, where it leaves Loch Arrow, and they mated, and the mating conferred sovereignty on the people and victory in the forthcoming battle. And so on the way we stop off at the bed of the couple and do that vision journey. And I'm actually going to do a separate blog reporting some of the comments that tour members made, the wonderful insights, healings and strengthenings that were gained just from that vision journey. And then we stop off at Heapstown Cairn, which is near the battlefield, and basically we talk about the healer gods. So the manuscript reports that during the battle, at the end of each day, the fallen members of the Tuatha Dé Danann were brought to the healer gods at Heapstone Cairn and healed in the healing wells, the same method that the Vedas report for healing ancient Indian culture warriors in between days of battle. And so the saying is that the Fomorians wondered where on earth the Tuatha Dé Danann were going to when they'd been cut down. How was it they were ready to fight next morning? And they found the healing baths and sort of built a cairn on top of them. So we learn about the wonderful healer gods, Dian Kect, Miak and Ermith. Wonderful there. And then we actually climb to the top of the battlefield. The view is utterly exalted. You can see the wonderfully beautiful Loch Arrow, and you can sort of look towards Carrowkeel, which is another of our tour destinations. And in it we do earth energy work on a megalithic tomb that is there, that is much, much older than the Tuatha Dé Danann. And then we go to the centre of the battlefield to work with the Eglon stone, where the manuscript says that Lu, who was given kingship and leadership of the Tuatha Dé Danann for the period of the fighting, directed the battle from standing next to that stone. And we do particularly work there, and believe me, the insights we have had are life-changing. So that is the battlefield of Moitura. Secondly, Oenigat Cave for warrior initiation. So basically Oenigat is the cave of the Morrigan, the war goddess of the ancient Irish. It lies beneath Rathcrogan Mound, which is the coronation site for the kings and queens of Connaught, the West of Ireland kingdom, but it may be argued to be the power base thereof. And basically it was used as a warrior initiation site. In other words, young men and women on the threshold of becoming warriors would do a vigil there, and those who survived were fully fledged warriors. And so we do our own warrior initiation to meet the great Morrigan actually inside the cave. It's perfectly manageable, by the way, though you do need to wear clothes that don't mind getting some mud on them. Okay, tour number 3. Tour number 3 is Loch Gill with W.B. Yeats poetry. Well, basically, there's some stop-offs, and they include, or are drawn from, for example, the utterly beautiful Dooney Rock, where W.B. Yeats wrote the Fiddler of Dooney poem. And so we go to that, there's a lovely walk there, and I read the poem to you. You know, we've had some lovely experiences going round the little circular walk there. And then a next possibility is the Lake Isle of Innisfree. We get to the landing jetty facing the Lake Isle of Innisfree, read W.B. Yeats' poem, and wonderful, we go down onto the boardwalk a bit, and wonderful, across the loch we see the giant in the landscape. That is a sight never to be forgotten. It is Albion, the Albion principle in Ireland, part of our geomantic work. We also go to Hazelwood we don't necessarily go to all of these, that would be too much. We go to Hazelwood, where W.B. Yeats, the Wandering Angus poem, wrote about the shimmering girl, and Slishwood with its fairy energies, where W.B. Yeats wrote The Stolen Child. Come away, come away, come away, human child. This world's too full of weeping for you to understand. Okay, the next is the Kuraki megalithic tombs. They were #1 top for tour destination in 2019. So basically we visit three of the tombs, and the views are exalted. We talk about the arrival of the invaders from what's now southern Turkey, Catalhoyuk, Gebeli Tepe, for example, and their DNA is in Western Irish DNA. And we go inside one particular megalithic tomb, and there's a choice of 2 journeys. One is to meet great goddess Danu and discover what the epitome of good mothering is, so that we can heal wounds to the mothering that we have received, so that we can seek to heal the mothering and fathering we may have given our own children and remedy the past. So you can have an ancestral healing journey or a goddess healing journey. Deer Park Court Tomb, that's utterly wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful, exalted high site just north of Sligo. Again, we do rock energy work with the rocks, which I believe had their already high, rich quartz energies enhanced by the builders of, the first farmers who came and built these court tombs in the Neolithic. And there are other interesting ancient sites we can visit there, as well, of course, as doing a vision journey to meet a god or goddess of the ancient Irish. So there's a souterrain nearby and things like that. Loch Con woodlands and ogham work. Well, Loch Con is an utterly beautiful loch, and so we visit the loch, actually visiting the site through the North Mayo Genealogy Centre, which has the most wonderful cafe on earth, and it's called the Secret Garden Cafe, and the Secret Garden, you have to visit it. But anyway, that we do a woodland walk. We stop on the shore of the loch and look at the mountain opposite, and there's a big, big history there. And then we do work with selected tree energies, referring to the ogham, or the ogham as it's sometimes pronounced, it doesn't matter which is the tree alphabet of the ancient Irish Druids. What's next? Yes, possibility 7 is the Ben Bulben Forest Walk. Now, this is the site where W.B. Yeats wrote the Hosting of the She poem. Oh, and the Waterboys do wonderful renderings to music of the W.B. Yeats poems. I think it is called An Appointment with Mr. Yeats. It's on YouTube. And you listen to it. And Ben Bulben has incredible earth spirits and earth energies within it. And I feel beings on the Great Plateau of different sorts. So you walk along. Oh, by the way, first of all, we go to like a hidden glade where there are barrows and a cashel. And then on the seaward side of the forest at the foot of Ben Bulben, well, the view is utterly breathtaking. So you see Mullaghmore Moor and the castle above that was owned by Queen Victoria's Prime Minister. rather bad things happened to his tenants at the time of the famine. You see the lovely bay, and there's another well-preserved castle you can visit on the way back to the car park. Okay, a wonderful one. We're up to number 8, Oris Head. This is the most supremely beautiful beach, it really is. Utterly lovely, with a view across to Ben Bulben. And, it's a surfing beach and kayaking beach. And so we there do a journey to have a ride on Manannan's boat. Manannan is the sea god of the ancient Irish, of the Tuatha De Danann. And then we do a vision journey to envision the arrival of the Tuatha De Danann when they returned to Ireland. So they were once in Ireland, but they were driven out by the exploitative, dark behaviour of the Fomorians. And so they voyaged the seas, and the manuscript says they learned much magic. And indeed, during that, they received the 4 sacred weapons, the 4 sacred elemental weapons, or jewels of the Tuatha De Danann, as they're also called. Earth, air, fire and water, the stone of Fal, the sword of Nuada, the spear of Lu, the cauldron of the Dagda that never runs empty and renews life. And so we do a vision journey to see in vision the Tuatha De Danann arriving in Ireland with their 4 sacred weapons in their ships, and they actually burned their ships when they arrived so they wouldn't be tempted to flee away from the difficulties. And their mission was actually to restore Ireland to the special purity that the divine, or the faces of the divine, the gods, had in mind when the world was created. Because I've talked to you about the high rock energies, and the ancient Greek authors said how, pure and special the land of Ireland is, particularly this area around here. And then we come to number 9. Well, number 9 is we take you to Carramore Megalithic Cemetery, and basically what we uncover there is the true nature of the Carramore megaliths. We do vision work in several of them, and we note the different energy for the different tombs. Very, very, very illuminating and inspiring. So go to our tours page, book now. This is the Druid Forest School tours page. Book now for 1 or more Sacred West of Ireland tours. Thank you.